But guess what? Anthony didn't play a whole lot last year too. You know, Patrick Willis the same way. He didn't play a whole lot last year either. I mean, the two people that I think that we really got hurt with is Chris Borland and Justin Smith. Those two guys right there played a lot last year on the defensive side, and they just went to work.
I don't think that we would have seen much of him if he didn't make the decision he did. He already knew that his body needed rest. I mean, which is exactly what he said. I mean, he played all of 6 games last season. We lost him to hamstring injury. We lost him to knee, ankle injury, and then the concussion at the end of the season. So he was breaking down.
Are you listening? Damn.
What's up? I have some quotes I have to share with you. I've been watching the news just like you, and I just love some things get into your mind and they just sink in and you just keep thinking about it all the time. And I bet you, tell me, is this the same for you? Who said, "We will still win"? If I thought we didn't have a chance, I probably wouldn't be here. If we play the way we're capable, we'll be right in the mix. And who said, "I don't think I played to my level, and I want to do everything it takes to play consistently at my level. I know that when I'm playing consistently, I'm on my game. I can't be stopped." That's my favorite one. Aldon Smith. It kind of reminds me of a quote from Russell Peters and his dad. "Somebody gonna get hurt real bad." Oh, I look forward to this series. We only got a little while to go. There's just one thing, though, I have to address right now. It's from NFL.com, our very own ex-49er, Eric Davis, who hasn't said a nice thing about the 49ers in years. In fact, I would really, and I'll bet you feel the same way, appreciate it if they would just stop asking Eric Davis for any input of any kind about the 49ers. His latest little nasty dig. The 49ers on paper are the worst team in the division. The 49ers on paper are the worst team in the division. I want to see Eric Davis's papers. I want to know how in the world does he come to that conclusion? Number one, do the Arizona Cardinals have a better running game than the 49ers? I doubt that. Do the St. Louis Rams have a better front seven than the 49ers? I don't think so. The 49er offense, featuring Colin Kaepernick, Reggie Bush, Kendall Hunter, and Carlos Hyde, he knows nothing about them. So when he puts that down on paper, he automatically assumes that that's the worst offensive attack in the league. I don't understand Eric Davis and his constant venom. So Eric Davis, okay. With that being said, let us go to more pleasant matters. Let us go be more members of the Niner fam and talk good stuff about the 49ers. I'll introduce you to him right now. Introducing Patrick Johnson, all the way out of Virginia. Patrick, what's up, man?
What's up, Rombo? How you doing, man?
Absolutely fabulous, man. Anytime I'm talking football, man, I'm doing great. I could be laying in bed with 2 broke legs, my back in traction, and no food in a month. As soon as I start talking football, man, I'm feeling all right.
That's right. I'm with you on that, too.
You're the one with a fantastic history with the 49ers, man. It's like, just to give you a little bit about Patrick. He's got his motorcycle. Would you tell me it's on 49er.com?
Oh, yeah. My motorcycle was on 49ers.com. I airbrushed it, did the whole 9. I got a lot of comments on it. It's up there. It was up there last year.
Patrick, man, you the man. Dude, let us talk about, first of all, we have young talents The media goes on and on with, well, the 49ers have holes that we don't think they'll be able to fill this year, and for this reason, there is no way they're going to compete in 2015. Patrick, let's talk about the young talents. Those guys that Trent Baalke puts in incubation, he sets them aside. And when for these occasions, when they come up, Trent releases them like Dobermans, and people don't even know what happened.
That's right. And I tell you what, Eli Harold, I mean, what can you say about him? You know, Eli Harold's been awesome in OTAs. I mean, we got Armstead didn't come back yet, but you know, when he comes back in minicamp, or not minicamp, but camp, eventually will be good, man. But I'm very, very interested in seeing Bell play, you know, a little bit of tight end. And these guys that's coming in, Brombo, I'm gonna tell you, man, I think that, you know, a lot of people are surprised that we're gonna be where we're at. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things that people criticize us on, as far as, you know, us being like the last in the division and everything else like that. But when you look at our schedule, Rombo, I'll tell you, man, there's a lot of things that people don't understand when it comes to a schedule. And one thing is a lot of pieces on that schedule have been lost too. Look at Pittsburgh, Le'Veon Bell, he's going to be suspended. You know, I mean, a lot of things like that take in consideration for the future and for the league. So I think we'll be all right going into this season.
And you mentioned that first game. You know what I really appreciate, Patrick? The fact that our boy Adrian Peterson has been out for a whole season. It's going to be his first night. I don't care who you are. His nerves are going to be shot. He's going to have to deal with the defense, and we're going to be bringing at him that night. If he gets over 100 yards, I will be surprised.
Oh, yeah. You know, in our defensive line, Rumble, I mean, from our defensive line to our linebackers, Ian Williams is playing great. You still got Quentin Dial. I mean, you got, you know, Ahmad Brooks. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there, you know, that we're going to look at. You got Aaron Lynch. And like I said, Eli Harold is playing like a maniac. He's from Virginia, so, you know, I know he's going to ball out regardless. But and you got Antoine Bethea and Eric Reed back there. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about anything else this year. I think a lot of critics, you know, they come up with us being last. But you know what? I love adversity. Just like Vernon said in minicamp, I love adversity.
Eli Harold you know what? Eli Harold, and I've already had this discussion with a few people. Eli Harold with that explosive first step and in your face like he can do, somebody, Patrick, between you and me, somebody could be losing their job at defensive end.
Yeah. I mean, imagine him and Alden Smith across from, oh my God. And then you got Dockett. I mean, who can forget about Dockett? Dockett's a big plug. I mean, he didn't do much in OTAs and minicamp because of the ACL, but at the same time, you know, he's going to be a great plug in there. So, you know, I think we're going to be real tough up front, Rombo. I really do.
We're saving money. We are saving money. All those rookie contracts. Already, you mentioned Derek Armstead, and I believe Dial, and I said Gerard Eddy, also Tank Carradine. All these guys are still working for a job, which automatically makes a football player that much more crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But then again, you know, I was looking, and you look at our division, right? The Seattle Seahawks, okay? Let's take them, for example. Seattle just went out and got Jimmy Graham, the most highest paid tight end in the NFL. You still have to pay Russell Wilson. You still got all these secondary players and defensive players that want big-time money. I think Seattle they got really, really mad as far as a Super Bowl and losing, and they went out and just made a dumb decision. Now, at the end of the day, the cap will not allow that to happen next year. So, I mean, you're taking a lot of that stuff in consideration. I think Trent Baalke is doing the right thing.
Absolutely, and people don't understand the genius of Trent Baalke to begin with, but they shall find out in just a little while. You know, as I look down, now I was worried about Vernon Davis. We're talking about, well, let's talk about Vernon Davis a little while later, but looking ahead, and I know we probably shouldn't do it just on this date, but looking ahead, with all the money that's being saved, there's play like Evan Mathis is out there as far as free agents concerned. We could maybe use him. But do you have anybody that you would like to bring in right now that you think would ideally fit with the 49ers and would excel us to another level? I ain't going to say next level because I think we're already at a high level. But what would be the player, if you were to go out and get a free agent right now with all the extra money you got to spend, what would you be looking at?
Julio Jones.
Ooh.
Julio Jones. And I say that only to say this. That when Anquan, you know, he's at his last little hoorah, you know, as far as, you know, taking him off on a white horse. But Julio Jones is an unrestricted free agent next year. I think that's a great plug. and between him and Troy Smith, I mean, I think we're gonna be amazing.
And you know what? Again, remember Smelter, the child of great expectation. He's gonna be healing up by this time next year.
I think he was a sleeper. He was a sleeper. He was a sleeper in the draft. A lot of people passed on him because of the ACL tear, but I think he's going to do very, very well with us in Cap. I think he's going to be a great combination for all of us.
DeAndrew White, I understand he's just showing out in the OTAs and in camp.
Between him, Quentin Patton, I mean, you still got Bruce Ellington. A lot of these guys are just waiting to stand up and play, And Quentin Patton, I mean, they said he's been doing awesome OTAs and minicamp as well. So, we're just waiting for that one spark. And I like our offense. I tell you what, though, Rombo, one thing I like about our offense is I like the addition of Steve Logan, the quarterback coach for Cap. I think he's amazing. I think he's really, really smart. He's been there. He's been a sports analyst for a long period of time. He's also been a head coach. But I think he's really, really good. I looked at his mini camp interview, and I think that his mentality, him and Tom Rathman, as a running back coach, those guys on the offensive side, and Jeep Chris, I think we're going to be good.
I just want to say something about those coaches as well. What people don't understand about the coaching staff that they call untested. Mangini is not untested. Logan is one of the best quarterbacks coaches you're going to find. Tom Sewell's been with this team for how many years? This conglomeration of coaches has watched what Jim Harbaugh did. They've looked at all the positives in his system. They've looked at all the negatives. Don't people understand that now they can apply what works and what could be thrown out? They've hurried up the offense. They've done all those things that killed us last year. Where is this? They're untested.
Yeah. And here's the thing, though. A lot of people don't understand when Jim Harbaugh came in the league with him and Greg Roman, they came in the league, no one knew their offense. A read option offense, that type of play. I mean, that was San Francisco's bread and butter the whole season he first came in. Now teams have to scheme for us. Okay, so they don't have a lot of film on Jeep Chris. They don't know the curveball that Jeep is going to throw out there. And they don't know the curveball Mangini. I mean, being that he was in New England, but still, that curveball, you got different players and different pieces. So I think that a lot of teams aren't going to have the capability of scheming for us because they never seen any of our coaches.
That's what I'm talking about. They can't get in bed by 8 o'clock the night before the game because they'll be up trying to figure us out. Like before, maybe don't even need to plan. We're going to Gore. Cap's going to try to find Crabtree. He's going to try to find Bolden. They've only got 3 options. Everybody else they don't even use. Cap can't read the field anyway. Oh, he's ironed that out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm pretty happy that he went out with Kurt Warner and worked on his throwing ability. I think that was great. But now you look at it, Rombo, we got 3 running backs right now. Like Tom Rathman said, we got a 3-headed monster. You got Reggie Bush, you got Carlos Hyde, and you got Kendall Hunter. And I'm going to tell you, between all of them, they can start anywhere in the NFL right now.
Amen. Let's go over the schedule. Last half of the season, right after the bye week, because I looked at that, it is the most intense. Seattle, Arizona, Chicago. You know that Vic Fangio is waiting on us.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit, and St. Louis. Let's go. Give me your feeling. Seattle, right after the bye week.
I'll tell you, I'm going to that game too, and that's going to be Levi. That'll be on Thursday night, so I'll be hitting that one. But past that, Rombo, you got, like I said earlier, you have to look at the pieces that a lot of these teams are missing. Let's talk about Chicago, okay? Jay Cutler does not have Brandon Marshall no more. Okay, Matt Forte, he'll probably be injured, God forbid, but he'll probably be injured before the season even is ended. Okay, let's go there. And then you got Detroit. I mean, Donovan Sue. I mean, they lost the best defensive player on the field. I mean, in the league, pretty much. So, going into the later half of the season, I think we'll be good. But again, it's going to be cold. And, all these places that we're playing in Cleveland and Cincinnati, I mean, it gets cold in the wintertime. So I hope, and I know Cap can do his thing because he went to Green Bay a couple years ago and toasted them in below degree temperature. So I think we'll be good going into it. But again, a lot of people have left a lot of different teams, and we have to take that into consideration. I mean, Fangio, he's gonna be Fangio. I mean, he knows a lot of our players on our team. But guess what? We've also added a lot of players too. So he really doesn't know what's gonna happen and what we're gonna throw at him.
And what we've changed, just like you said, he has no idea what's coming exactly.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I'll tell you one thing that I really, really like and heading to the coaches. Jim Tomsula reminds me of one man and one man only, and I can remember Jim Tomsula reminds me of Mike Ditka. Do you get a Mike Ditka feeling when you see Jim Tomsula?
I do. Now that you mention it, because I said, you've seen clips of Lombardi. There's something about magnificence, greatness that you can see in his whole demeanor, his relationship with the players, his getting their face tough, but giving them love at the same time.
That's right.
I'm seeing it.
He's like a dad to those guys, you know. And I'm gonna tell you, playing football and I play too. You know, he's a player's coach, and that's the type of coach you want to play. And a lot of those guys feed off of him, and they react very well to him. So, I mean, I think that, you know, he's not on Twitter, which is great. A lot of coaches get involved in social media. He's not really big on that type of stuff. So he's more focused on football. And he said that there are actually 4 phases of football, right? And in reality, there's 3, right? You got offense, defense, special teams, and then he said family. Okay, Rombo, he said family. Okay, you don't ever hear a coach talk about that in that way. Okay, and I think that, you know, with Jim Tomsula and everybody not giving him the credit that he deserves, I think we're going to excel just based off of his personality alone.
Got my vote, bro. I'm telling you right now, Patrick. And if the Niners do not make the playoffs this year, I would actually be shocked and surprised. Can't imagine that.
Absolutely.
And for the teams that don't see us coming and don't prepare for anything more than we've lost players and the holes they've got, that could get real ugly in our favor.
And, you know, and going into that, you know, we lost a lot. Yeah, we did. Okay. We lost Anthony Davis as the last person. No one knew that was coming. But guess what? Anthony didn't play a whole lot last year, too. You know, Patrick Willis the same way. He didn't play a whole lot last year either. I mean, the 2 people that I think that we really got hurt with is Chris Borland and Justin Smith. Those 2 guys right there played a lot last year on the defensive side, and they just went to work. I think other than that, I mean, yeah, Patrick Willis was a great one of the Hall of Famers at linebackers position. But guess what? He didn't play a whole lot last year with that toe injury. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think that Justin Smith and Chris Borland were the only 2 ones that really hurt us.
I agree. You know what? I said the same thing. With the Cowboy, he's had that bad left shoulder. He's actually been slowed down a little bit too. I thought Anthony Davis hurt us, but at the same time, the run game has been altered. Everything's been altered. So maybe AD's presence doesn't have the same impact as it might have with Frank Gore running behind him. Because Frank ran behind AD. But what if they can get Big Trent Brown? What if they can get that 340 pounds coordinated, get his footwork at least halfway right? What are you going to do with a 340-pound tackle coming at you, picking up speed like a steamroller?
I'm going to tell you, with him and Carlos Hyde behind him, and, you know, Carlos Hyde's a downhill runner.
Yes.
I mean, Carlos Hyde, I've seen Carlos Hyde run over guys in games, and I'm just, like, amazed and shocked. You know, and Kendall Hunter is so elusive that you got him and Reggie Bush are going to be that elusive back that we need. And that Carlos Hyde is just a steamroller. He's just going to roll down people.
I'm looking forward to it. But before you go, you've got to give me the holler, man.
Niners!
Patrick! Let me introduce you to Jennifer. Jennifer, hello.
Hi. How are you? It's good to be here.
Absolutely fabulous, and it's good to have you here too. You see, because
Thank you.
We want to erase the generalization that women don't talk football.
Oh, come on.
I'm saying we've talked to a few. 49er women are the most hottest, gorgeous women in the world. We all know that. But do they know football? Jennifer, you were here.
Yes, we do.
You were here to
There's plenty out there. There's a lot of us out there. You just got to find them.
I love it. Let's get right down to it. Jennifer, everybody's talking about Anthony Davis, so we may as well talk about him too. Now, here's my thing. Anthony Davis did not play with us that much this year. Do you think Anthony was going to last an entire season this year, or were we going to have a same rerun of Anthony Davis checks in at the beginning of the season, and then, of course, somewhere after the 3rd and 4th game, no more AD? Do you think that was going to be the case?
I do, honestly. I don't think that we would have seen much of him if he didn't make the decision he did. He already knew that his body needed rest. I mean, which is exactly what he said. I mean, he played all of 6 games last season. We lost him to hamstring injury. We lost him to knee, ankle injury, and then the concussion at the end of the season. So he was breaking down, and I think it was good that he's making this break. He's taking a break. Let's hope to see him back in a couple of years, a year or two. But I think it's a good decision. I don't think that we were going to see him this season if he didn't make the choice.
So in that case, I guess we can assume then Anthony did us a favor. You think he did us a favor by going ahead and telling us, because everybody else is saying, ooh, the 49ers have lost another player. Well, you see, some of the players that are leaving are for their own benefit. But when I look at Anthony's move, I'm not sure if he did us a favor or he did himself a favor or all of the above. What are your feelings on that?
All of the above. Definitely did himself a favor. I commend him in the decision that he made. But he also did us a favor. He for sure didn't cripple us. I mean, obviously, that's the initial reaction was like, we lost another one. But he definitely didn't cripple us. And I think he did us a favor and him a favor all around. Because you see, look how we're shuffling the O-line. I mean, he's allowed us to make some shuffles in the O-line right now. We got Eric, who's been training, who's been doing,
Eric
Pears and doing the right tackle. I think we got a good win with him. I think he's going to do great. I mean, I know that in OTAs he was doing guard, but he outgraded better at tackle than guard. He didn't do well last season, and that was at guard. But I think that if we start Eric out at tackle, who knows? I think we might get the 2012, 2013 version of him.
Yes, she has been doing homework. She knows about Eric and where his strengths and weaknesses are. And that's so true. Eric struggles at guard, but as his tackle. But see, the thing is, that is where another dilemma lies. How do you feel about Trent Brown? He could fit in there somewhere. Would you trust Trent? Let's give him like 4 or 5 weeks. Do you think he's got a chance?
I think he has a chance, but I don't think like right off the back we throw him in there. I do think he has a chance though, but I definitely like Trent Brown. I think we got definitely good potential. We got a good guy coming.
All right, that's with the Cap, because Cap is everybody's. He's that polarizing point, that position in the roster that everybody likes to go to just beat him up. Jennifer, I have started defending Kaepernick. Actually, I started the last half of the season when people were bringing up his jerseys and doing all those crazy things. I thought they were way out of line. And as I looked into it, they were. And I'm wondering, do you feel, is the hate for a man who took us all in the Super Bowl 2 years prior to this? He was the man in charge and he was large. And last year, through circumstances that may have had to do more with a lot of other things surrounding him than just his ability to play quarterback. Where is your designation of blame here? Is it on Cap or is it elsewhere?
Well, for one, I'm a big Cap fan, okay?
I see
I'm
that,
a Cap
Seven.
supporter. I'm mad that I didn't get to see him while he was out here in Phoenix working out.
He'll be back.
But I'm not going to blame just Cap for the crash that happened to us last year, because no one played well, in all honesty. Bottom line, no one played well. But with him doing, the working out, he knows there was growth needed. He didn't do well with his pocket responsibilities. His accuracy wasn't there. And he knows that. He's seen that. And I appreciate that about him because he knows that he needed work to do. So I think that with him doing the work that he's doing now and working on everything, we're going to have a quarterback who has great mobility. And we're going to have a quarterback who can make those big plays and passes from the pocket. So I think he's going to be able to take us back to the Super Bowl. He's coming out strong. And he's working on some stuff. He's not telling everybody what he's working on, but we know what he lacked last year, and we know what his weaknesses were last year, and he knows he's coming out strong, and I'm looking forward to it. I support him all the way.
And you'd be happy to know, I understand he's real confident out there now, too, getting high praise from all the receivers, including Vernon Davis. That matchup is essential for Cap's success.
Vernon didn't even know it was him when he seen him playing out on the field. He's like, who is that? And then he turns around and it's Cap. So that just tells you how different his play is right now. He's coming out. He's banging it out.
You know what? Do you know what, Jennifer? That was the theme line for the season right there. Vernon Davis on opening day runs out there, makes a catch. And who's that QB?
Right.
What's Cap? What are you talking about? Who's the QB? Who else would it be? No, it ain't. I said, see, now this means Cap went to school and he's a different Cap. And I'm telling you right now, I'm delighted. So,
Yes.
I'll tell you something else, too. Here's why I've also got a thing about, you see, there's a little report out lately that the Super Bowl was Harbaugh and Roman. They took too long to begin with to get the play out on the field. Do you know, and remember this if you can, there was a quarterback draw play where Cap was going to just zip right up the middle. They got that play off at the last second. Cap went right up in the middle and into the end zone. And Harbaugh called a timeout.
Yes.
That is how we lost that game. Not that stupid pass he made a few seconds later. And so what I said, you know what? This is why people need to go back and look at some of the footage. And the blame doesn't go to Cap. It
Right.
goes to Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh. Because the things they're working on right now is they're hurrying up the offense. They're getting to the line, giving Cap plenty of time to read the defense. Basic good football. They're coming out there to play that now next season. See,
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
So am I. Tom Sula is actually, he's going to be doing both. I mean, his vision is we're going to be doing big pocket plays, but I'm also going to allow him to use his mobility as well.
Let's go to the schedule. This is my most fun part of the thing. Because you see, I tell you right now, Jennifer, we open up on opening night. We have got Adrian Peterson, one of the greatest running backs of all time. Everybody says our front seven is going to be just fine. How are they going to do with Adrian Peterson? And are we going to win or lose that game against Minnesota?
We're going to take that one.
Okay.
I got that one down.
All right.
I think we're going to win that one.
Are we going to continue?
Yeah, I got us actually before the bye week. I got us 7-2.
7-2.
I got us taking the season 13-3. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. I don't need to go game by game. I'm gonna just let you know right now what I got.
Jennifer, I like that. Okay, and you know what? In this case, now, with that being said, if we're going to go that route, I just want to know, are we going to beat, we got Arizona, Green Bay, and Baltimore. Those are the three guys. So you said 7-2?
Before the bye week.
Who are the two
Before the bye
losses?
week.
Who are those two losses?
I gotta say Rams. One, I'm thinking the Rams. We need to watch out for the Rams. I mean, I'm not worried about the Cardinals. I think we're gonna go back to sweeping the Cardinals this year. I mean, come on, they did play as good last year, but we're gonna go back to sweeping them every year. I'm gonna have to take my broom back to that stadium every year now.
I like that. And you need to understand, Jennifer is from Arizona. That's why she's giving Arizona no love. And who's the other game we're gonna lose to?
I have Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That may become a consensus. Everybody is afraid of Baltimore. They are tough.
They're tough.
But remember,
They're tough. I gotta give them. You can't sleep on them.
no, that's true. But remember, that's Troy and Anquan's place. And if they're going to play hard, I'm telling everybody, if they're going to play hard, that's going to be the hardest game of the season. But Jennifer,
Yes.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Because if indeed you're right about the rest of the schedule, and I'm leaning toward us beating Baltimore, that means we go 7-8-1. I mean, I like that even better.
I like it too.
Jennifer, you got anything else you want to add before we say and get you to do the holla?
No, I just want to thank you. Thanks for having me on the show. We got to give all my ladies out there love who know football and who love football. Shout out to all my women out there who are big football fans and know the game.
And I will be looking for you, ladies. You're next. I'm definitely wanting to hear from you. Jennifer, thank you so much. And listen, I'm going to give you the 3, 2, 1. You got to give me the 9 a holler. Representing all the ladies, the San Francisco 49er fam ladies. 3, 2, 1.
Niners!
Yes! Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Patrick. My God. I tell you what, I can never get enough of this. We'll be back next time, but until then, we'll meet you on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I just want to say to the Hampton Roads Empire. Patrick told me about you. I am delighted. Thank you so much. You know I love you back. We got something common, you and me. We both love the same wonderful, great red team. And they are. Count me out.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Niners!
Sacred stone.